Mention the word Burgundy today, and most people picture a peaceful province in eastern France. It evokes a relaxed lifestyle, quiet villages, and some of the world's most famous luxury Pinot Noir. Yet historically, the phrase "all the Burgundies" has created immense geopolitical confusion. The historian Norman Davies even noted that few subjects in European history have caused more havoc. This map shows Western Europe in the year 1467. The highlighted region marks the true extent of the Burgundian state, a massive, independent megastate stretching from the Swiss Alps to the North Sea, encompassing modern-day Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. By the 15th century, the Burgundian court outshone the King of France in wealth, art, and pageantry. Its rulers were so confident in their power that they proudly styled themselves the Grand Dukes of the West. They began as a subordinate vassal state, answering to a higher crown. Within a few generations, they built themselves into a European superpower capable of bullying kings, only to vanish entirely from modern maps. The name originates with the Burgundians, a Germanic tribe that migrated from the Baltic Sea down to the Rhone Valley in the 5th century. Medieval treaties eventually split the Burgundy region into two distinct legal halves. The western side became a duchy, answering to France, while the eastern side became a free county, answering to the Holy Roman Empire. Following a 1361 succession crisis, the French king granted the Western Duchy to his youngest son, Philip the Bold. Philip then secured a strategic marriage to Margaret of Dampierre, heiress to Flanders in the far north. That single marriage linked the rich agricultural soils of southern Burgundy with the incredibly wealthy mercantile textile hubs of the Flemish North. This union transformed the dukes into rulers of a dual-engine economic powerhouse, granting them the capital to operate with total independence from the French crown. With immense wealth flowing in from the Low Countries, Philip the Bold and his successors centralized their sovereign power, ignoring the demands of Paris. They aggressively deployed a strategy of wine diplomacy. The dukes shipped world-class Pinot Noir to popes and rival monarchs, using it as diplomatic bribes. They also used their capital for massive financial patronage of the Northern Renaissance. By commissioning masterpieces from Flemish painters, the dukes projected an aura of divine authority that made the French court look poor by comparison. In 1443, they founded the Hospices de Beaune, a monument of patterned tile designed to prove they possessed the wealth and vision of a sovereign power. To give their newly combined state historical legitimacy, the dukes pointed back to Lotharingia, an ancient Middle Kingdom that once occupied the exact same space. They even created an exclusive knightly organization, the Order of the Golden Fleece, to bind local nobles to their cause. Through fine art, luxury Pinot Noir, and institutional prestige, the Valois Dukes used the tools of sovereignty to weld their fractured territories into a cohesive megastate, aiming to create a singular Burgundian identity. The strategy worked flawlessly until the final Valois Duke, Charles the Bold, abandoned soft power in favor of aggressive military expansion. This map shows the northern and southern Burgundian territories with a glaring geographical gap between them. Charles became obsessed with militarily conquering the independent lands sitting in that gap so he could physically connect his holdings and finally crown himself king. His ambition led to a catastrophic climax at the Battle of Nancy in 1477. Charles's army was crushed, he was killed in action, and he left behind no male heir to hold the state together. The geopolitical scramble was immediate. The opportunistic French king, Louis XI, swept in and instantly annexed the original southern duchy of Burgundy. Desperate to protect the rest of her inheritance, Charles's daughter, Mary of Burgundy, executed a rapid countermove by marrying the Habsburg Archduke Maximilian. That single marriage transferred the incredibly wealthy Low Countries out of the Burgundian sphere and directly into the hands of the Habsburg Empire. The original Duchy of Burgundy lost its independence, permanently reverting to a French province. However, the sudden shattering of the Burgundian megastate handed the economic engine of the Low Countries to the Habsburgs. It created a deep geopolitical fault line between France and the Habsburg Empire, a border dispute that would trigger centuries of devastating European wars.